Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the Let's Play for Reverse 1999, and today we are definitely going to be wrapping up Chapter 7 with its last couple of nodes and are going to see how this thing ends. I'm definitely excited to see how Vereinsamt ends and what is going to happen because we've definitely built it up to whatever is going to happen here at the end. I mean, we have one person who defected over to the other side. Still sad about that. We'll see how that is gonna continue at some point in the future, I guess. But also, the main villain is dead? Question mark? Okay, I'm not buying that. I said it last time and I'm gonna say it again. I'm not buying it. And as I saw one of you also bring it up, in a game from last year, there was a pretty similar scenario, so I'm not gonna name the game or the villain in question, but it was pretty much the same scenario of, hey, you're at the roughly middle point of the story, and hey, guess what? Main villain died. Hey, guess what? Main villain back. Because the main villain has actually planned this ahead of time. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. I am not believing for a split moment that she is dead. But yeah, considering the previous episode as well, I saw a lot of very interesting comments. And one comment that I want to point out, as always, comes this time from Redshifted, who said, "Time for the Greek tragedy. Me in a Bottle, Sophia's battle theme, is probably one of my favorite tracks in the game, and it has been my main menu music ever since it first released a few months back. On top of being just a good piece of in general, it was made with a lot of care and reference to the situation. Just want to say first that I'm not in any way a musician, so take this comment with a grain of salt, but I have heard a lot of people who are in the community echo this as fact. So, Me in a Bottle has two main notes, repeating over and over throughout the entire track, E and B. Using the numbered musical notation which transforms notes into numbers, the song becomes 373737, repeated over and over again as if Sophia is calling out to her. In addition to that, the track plays perfectly alongside another track from a previous chapter, Kingdom of Numbers, which is often considered to be 37's theme and is the battle music back in Chapter 5. Combined together, the piano and the violin create a grain soundscape that I believe someone uploaded to YouTube, so you can check it out if you want to. The star needs her corrector to be better and vice versa. TLDR, they cooked with the music. They definitely did. Outside of the music though, the inter-chapter after Chapter 7 is a rather short one this time, ranging about 30 to 40 minutes, maybe even less, with no battle stages whatsoever. It just serves as a bit of a catch-up with everyone after the events of the chapter, and I believe you technically don't need to finish it to unlock Chapter 8, if I'm not mistaken. That bit I guess we're gonna see in a bit, once I'm done with the main portion of the chapter, if 8 is gonna immediately unlock after that. I will obviously do the inter-chapter in a separate episode. That is gonna be the episode after this one. But if, like you say, it's very short, like if I'm done recording and I see it's gonna clock into something under an hour, now that you said it, I do have a plan to include something else in the episode, namely an anecdote that I've been sitting on for a while now, basically since I heard about basically since we talked about it in one of the episodes in Chapter 5. So I've been sitting on it for a while, and I'm itching to see what has been happening with one of our dudes during this whole thing. And yes, it's the Diggers one. So if it's gonna be very short, I'm gonna be including the anecdote of Diggers into that one, and also I'm gonna be including the usual reactions to trailers and stuff in that episode. So we separate this from this, because this is probably gonna be very long already. And also, very quickly to say this as well, thank you for the breakdown of the music and stuff like that, for pointing out all of that stuff. And thank you everybody else, because you were not the only one. There was a couple of comments that were talking about the music, how these two tracks specifically overlap. However, I selected your comment basically because of two main things. Number one, I think you were the first one So a bit of first come, first serve. But most importantly, the way you paced out your explanation worked very well with me playing with the music in the background. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. I'm gonna hear that in post when I'm done recording, but I've already prepared something. Let's put it that way. I had already something prepared just for that comment read. But yeah, I will, however, also link in the usual pinned comment from myself. I will link the YouTube video that you pointed out. I did find it. I did listen to the upload there as well. And yeah, the two music tracks overlap between each other are amazing to listen to. So yeah, I will link that in the description of the video and point to the guy. So if someone hasn't heard that music track already, just go to the link and you will be at that video, and I don't know, say hi. say that I said hi and thanks as well for the work that they put into that. But yeah, anyway, I saw a couple of other first off, pardon, Red, thank you very much for the comment. Now, I did see a couple of other comments. Number one, I saw the comment that answered my question basically of who was the one who said specifically, or where was it specifically said, the thing about 77's number not showing up on the beach. That was during the Apeiron and 37 scene. Basically, Apeiron probably mocking a bit 37 with that. So could be true, could be not true. Who the hell knows? It's during that scene. The other thing that I saw was quite a funny one. I wasn't aware of this, but in hindsight it makes sense. So the previous episode had two thumbnails. Okay, it had two thumbnails. One was Igor, the other one was Sophia. I saw you guys pointing out that Blue Epoch, when this chapter was releasing, they also were releasing EPs, and apparently with one of the I think it was one of the EPs, they spoiled Sophia as a Manus. And they got a lot of flack apparently from the community for doing so. So that's, first off, that is hilarious. It is obviously bad when that happens, but that's also kind of hilarious that they themselves did it. Apologies to anybody if I actually spoiled you. I mean, this has been out for a while now, of course. But I did specifically select two thumbnails because of that reason, and I was curious because YouTube lets you run like essentially like it collects statistics for like 2 weeks if you upload more than one thumbnail, and gives you pretty much just a percentage number of here is the percent of people that saw this one, and that one. So the previous episode and a couple of other episodes in this Let's Play had multiple thumbnails. So here's a question I'm gonna ask all of you. And I hope you're gonna be answering this, because I'm very curious. I wanna get the results before YouTube spits them out. How many of you, or rather who got what, essentially? That's my question. Who got what? Did you get Igor? Because that's the primary thumbnail. Or did you get Sophia? Because that's the secondary thumbnail. So I'm very curious, because I was trying to run a thing as well, where I was just opening my channel, essentially in incognito mode, just to see what it's gonna spit out. So just the channel, not the video. And out of the like 5 or 6 times that I did so in a new fresh incognito window, I got 4 times Igor, two times Sophia. So it's kind of doing the whole, as I usually see it, like a 60-40 or what's the other one? I think it's like a 70-30 roughly split as well sometimes. Usually it's the primary thumbnail that gets pushed out more. Also, Igor's face is a bit more prominent, so maybe the algorithm is pushing his face a bit more than Sophia. Sophia's picture is kind of like blending in with all colors at once, so I don't know. I'm gonna see that from YouTube side in like 2 weeks from now. So yeah, do tell me who got what. I'm very curious. And yeah, apologies if I spoiled anybody, but look, I found Arcana getting blown to bits, a bit bigger spoiler, but luckily there was no thumbnail for that. And I'll just say this, I would have not used, even if there was a thumbnail, I would not have used it as a thumbnail. But anyway, another thing that I just want to quickly address, I saw you guys pointing out that the 2.3 patch that is gonna be soon live, so something Uluru Games, is pretty much something that is technically connected to the already available revival, the Uluru Games, that is already back in the game. So obviously when we finish chapter 7 and the interchapter in the next episode, I'm obviously gonna jump into this. That was the plan anyway, to see what this story is about, and then we would go back to chapter 8. However, because you guys informed me of that, I will probably alter the next couple of episodes a tiny bit, and once we're done with the interchapter of 7 in the next part, I'm gonna jump into Uluru Games, the original one, and get that one done. And once this one is done, I'm probably gonna jump into 2.3, which is gonna be very funny and very awkward. It's gonna be the first time where I'm gonna be jumping into something that is completely fresh and new and actually live right now. So that's gonna be fun to experience, actually, because up until now I have not done a single one of them through through the thing, through the special menu that they come with. So this is gonna be very fun and exciting, actually, to see something fresh and live, something new that I don't have to wait for. But yeah, that's gonna be the plan going forward. After we're done with the interchapter, the first Uluru Games, and then 2.3 and the new Uluru Games. So I'm excited to see those two stories back to back. It's gonna be very fun, actually, to see that. Anyway, that is enough ramble. Let's proceed with this game and its story, shall we? So we're on 24, and you guys said it's 30, so we have, including this one, 6 left, so let's do this. The cycle of history. By the time people realize its true nature, it has already moved. Okay. 37 and holy Vertin, Jesus Christ, names. Okay, 210. Gorgon Lady, I guess. Let's see. Sorry, Gorgon Lady. Still call her Gorgon Lady. They call her a Banshee. Hall of Apeiron.
Read my words. 37.
It is her. Okay.
That scroll is a sacred relic passed down from the wise sages of Apeiron, safeguarded by the Sixes, and entrusted only to believers who brave Apeiron's test.
Okay.
It has the power of harmonization and reconciliation. You may keep it until you fully grasped the secrets shared with you by Apeiron.
Huh. Harmonization and reconciliation. Interesting. Those are very interesting words. That is kind of what she needs to reconcile with Sophia.
But you will not share it with some organization affiliated with humans, and certainly do not allow them to study it.
Oh, right. She was bringing it up to them to share the scroll with the Institute, right. The inevitable disagreement is finally upon them. 888 grabs 37 by the arm and drags her out of the lab.
Why? Sharing the scroll is sharing wisdom and knowledge with others, like what we have done through our doctrinal meetings and receiving visitors from the outside world. It is for the sake of spreading the light of truth, is it not? The human researchers, they have also discovered many brilliant theorems. Before the emanation cut us off, we had these types of communications with the outside world. It was fun. Unlike what came after.
Oh.
I'm sure by sharing this scroll, the code from Apeiron will be deciphered. I must prove that the light of truth still glimmers.
She stands her ground. She's right. With their faith shattered, people need something new to keep them going. And this time her suggestion makes sense in a practical way, a quality often missing from her previous ideas. That is actually very interesting to point out, yeah. With the island no longer shielding them, the school must find another way to survive the emanation. In their moment of weakness, they need a powerful ally more than ever.
But how can you be sure the scroll will only be used for researching the ritual? How can you ensure that the humans won't exploit it to create weapons of destruction?
Yeah, that's something you didn't think about. That's something that would never cross your mind at any given point, right? Until someone brings it up to you. The custodian looks up at the fractured dome. The speckled daylight illuminates her cool complexion.
Before joining the School of Apeiron, my people and I had wandered the world for ages. Our long lives made it difficult for us to truly fit in with the world.
Huh, long lives, huh?
Daughter of Truth, I implore you to hear the words of this old soul.
Okay, now I'm really curious. How old are you supposed to be? How old can your race get, I wonder?
Humans have indeed achieved incredible feats, and their enlightenment has even touched my soul. But unfortunately, most humans do not have an inherent respect for knowledge or its boundaries. They only chase after power blindly. I have experienced it firsthand. I tried to guide and persuade them, but ultimately I failed. That is why I am here now.
All right.
What you are deciding to share is not only knowledge, but it is a ritual. A piece of power. A ritual designed for harmonization, created for the devout believers, and created for the sages seeking the truth. Yet, on the other hand, it can also be used for unspeakable horrors, such as silencers on guns, suppressors on rifles, or even on nuclear bombs.
It won't.
Oh?
888. I won't let this happen. I promise.
You can't promise anything, Miss Vertin. You're too young, too inexperienced to comprehend the dark nature of history.
I was about to say a valid a valid and powerful observation. Yeah. The hall itself, ravaged by war, now stands as a testament to the Banshee's claim. Even 37 is speechless.
But it's the truth we're talking about. What could possibly outweigh the truth?
Damn, look at this guy. Alright, 210. But also... I wonder if 888 would change her mind if she met Lucy. Because Lucy is definitely gonna handle that thing. An unexpected voice speaks up. To everyone's surprise, the rhetorician does not raise any objections this time.
If all it takes is lending someone a scroll to unlock unspeakable secrets, why not do it?
Alright, buddy.
Haven't the failures of the past 4 years proven that a stagnant mindset does not bring forth the light of truth?
Okay, that is very in line with you.
As individuals devoted to critical thinking, should the pursuit of truth not be our primary goal in life? My brothers and sisters, do not let hatred stop you, and don't let the dust of the phenomenal world blind you.
210!
Uh-huh. He waves his hand and gets up from his seat.
And remember, it was 37 who passed the test and earned the scroll. It is her rightful responsibility to handle this situation.
Damn, look at this guy. He looks elsewhere, his demeanor suggesting a lack of interest rather than genuine support for the argument. I mean, maybe. Maybe that has to do a bit with it as well.
Otherwise, what other choice do we have?
He shrugs and walks out of the hall. Behind him, the Star of Hermes clenches her fist with resolve. To the murmuring, doubting crowd, she speaks again, loud and clear.
I have made up my mind. I will share the scroll with Laplace. We will decipher the code together. The truth is the truth. It should not be swayed by anything else. Please, everyone, cast your pebble if you agree with me. If Six were here, he too would have called for a vote.
Some of them decide to leave the hall instead, but most stay and use the pebbles in their hands to speak for them. Her victory arrives with a gentle sigh from the corner. Outvoted. Okay. War and smoke have long left this place. An area has been cleared for takeoff.
Miss Lilya, are you certain about this?
Absolutely. See the nice weather today? Much better than the day we landed. No wind, no cloud, the clear sky, and that giant moon.
Sitting tight on her SU-01BE, she gives a quick pat to the scroll secured on her belt. This is the essence of Apeiron's goodwill, and their newfound alliance with Laplace.
Can't find a better day to deliver the package. It's just to the headquarters, not even going outside of Europe. 3 hours is more than enough. I'm done being stuck on this suffocating island. Nobody can stop me from taking this flight.
The headquarters are at least 768 nautical miles away, and you have no protection during the long flight. It's dangerous. And we have only 7 hours until the storm.
Don't worry, Sonetto. Russians are built different. The vodka shields.
Dangerous? Maybe. But this is an exhilarating flight in the storm, Sonetto. What better chance than now to push Zeno into updating their flying manual?
She takes a... I was joking when I was making the vodka comment, but anyway. She took it literal. The shield is up. She takes a few long gulps from her canteen and warms up her broomstick, brimming with anticipation as if she were going to a carnival.
Besides, what's wrong with a bit of oil painting on me? Should be a nice badge of honor.
Please don't. Don't joke about that, please.
Mate, that's quite a distance. Just be sure not to go toppling into the Mediterranean Sea.
Red 38 is no way an apple the second.
That's a jab. She soars higher and higher until Regular shrinks to a tiny red dot on the beach. From the corner of her eye, she notices shadows slowly creeping toward her. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Manus Alitias? We didn't kill them all off?
Oh
I
good.
don't have time for you, little stingray rats.
Oh good. The Ultiao's trail close behind her.
Still got your speed, huh? I guess the death of your boss didn't faze you much. Oh.
A swollen blimp comes into view, filled with a dark substance and throbbing like a beating heart. The creature's soft tentacle-like turrets slowly raise and lock onto Lilya.
A Manus aircraft? Worth a fight. Haha! Bring it on! Your downfall will be an explosive orchestra over the waters.
Okay, I guess that's the fight here. Okay. Oh, it is the airship again. Okay. Well, that's fine, I guess.
The hunt begins.
Well, that's a deja vu. Anyway, let's get him out of the sky.
Benefit from reading.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone. This is not bad for a stretch.
You actually stretched this time. To safely cast the immunity ritual, 2 conditions must be met. 1. Have the power to wield it.
Yes, Miss Tider has derived the formula and my team has finished designing the prototype converter.
Hello, X. Been a while.
Now, we just need the bigwigs upstairs to approve the experiment application. This is an unprecedented chance to rob the storm of its energy. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
2. Minimize these side effects.
The Scroll of Apeiron has shown great potential in protecting casters from the ritual. It is expected to outperform the Coleman protection rituals. The sheer variety of side effects is concerning, but we already have a list of 122 curses and their effects. Once the scroll arrives, we will test and record its reactions to each of the effects. This should speed up our analysis considerably.
Alright. But this isn't enough.
How can we get humans to make use of this ritual?
He stands up and paces around the cluttered room.
Ideally, the incantation is made into a tool like the Manus Mask or Laplace's incantation soft disk. However, this would require a thorough analysis and mastery of the ritual. Manus Vindicte could create the mask because Arcana is just that excellent of a caster. But we don't have that kind of excellence all the time. That's why I came up with a clever alternative, to let everyone be a caster instead. The problem is, humans can't cast it all to begin with.
That is a problem indeed, buddy. So how are we circumventing this? Logic is failing to produce the desired breakthroughs. Enigma sits back down at the table, holding his head in despair.
Is there nothing else we can do?
There probably is. I'm trying to think, what could they do? Huh.
So, this is the plan of the imaginary numbers.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm also trying to think about how are they gonna circumvent the fact that regular humans cannot cast. Like, it's nice that they devised the whole thing of, well, we just spread the incantation throughout everybody, and when everybody is casting it, these side effects are gonna be probably non-existent. If the feedback from the spell is literally like spread thin. But yeah, how are you gonna make normal humans cast? Because they need to protect themselves too.
You want to use the waves of Pneuma and the reconciliation of the scroll to allow everyone to recite the storm immunity ritual?
Mm-hmm. 37 ponders with great interest, as if it were just another game. The collaboration with Laplace is going well. They have just shared all their information on the subject.
Yes. What do you think, 37?
An ugly plan it is.
She says it as it is. Anyway.
There is no grace or beauty in this approach. It is purely driven by practicality and uses clever tactics to make things fit. How typical of imaginary numbers.
I love her. For these bullshit mentions, I love her. Anyway. I mean, look, we're pressed for time.
What? It sounds pretty cool to me.
You're not helping. You are not helping with that comment right now. She's just gonna say, see?
Taking advantage of the storm? It's about time we plundered it instead.
It really looks like we should throw this plan into the sea.
What did I say? 37 insists, subtly shifting her seat away from Regulus. She really can't work with Regulus. Just move.
You're not trying to comprehend the ritual, Vertin, but scrambling to make use of it before the emanation arrives.
Isn't making use of it enough for our purposes?
No, the theory is incomplete. You will be hindered by impossible obstacles in no time. Mister, could you show me the incantation?
Mister?
I want to see it too.
She glances at the device, hoping for an answer, but the other end of the call has been silent for a while.
Laplace is looking for a safe method to deliver the incantation. Given the incidents before, some time is required for the application procedure. Once received, please do not read it out by any means. The side effects are extremely deadly.
The chief assistant explains to her reassuringly. Finally, someone speaks again.
Apologies. We took some time to test the delivery methods. For your safety, only the text of the incantation will be delivered. The exact pronunciation will be sent to the Timekeeper later.
Thanks, mate.
Since the island has no visual communication, we will send the incantation letter by letter through a Chladni plate, a technique that converts simple patterns to sound waves.
Okay.
Enough with the mumbo-jumbo. There's no time for details.
Hello him. He's yelling at himself. Annoyed, he interrupts his rambling and gets straight to the point.
Anyway, Timekeeper, we'll need the help of that lady. Miss Radio, right?
Huh?
Hello. Flattered, the blue flower on Miss Radio perks up. No ordinary signal could reach this island. Since their arrival, she's been diligently managing their communications. As a result, she was somewhat reduced to being just a radio. Aww.
Yes. Somebody please find her a metal square plate, fix it on a sturdy base, and pour sand on it.
Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. Sonetto and Regulus get to work immediately. Fortunately, there's no shortage of metals and sand on the island. A makeshift receiving station is quickly built.
Now, a special recording will be sent to you. Please stay by the edge of the plate, embrace the sound, and... groove along.
Groove along.
I assume you mean vibrate?
Uh-huh.
No. That's just rude. But, yes, exactly.
Yes. He stammers.
If all goes well, the vibrations will move the sand and visualize the text in a pattern.
I love how he's being very courteous with her.
We have 12 recordings ready, each representing a letter in the incantation. We'll play the first one when you're ready.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
She trembles with excitement, ready to give her all for this important task. As she grooves with the signal, a pattern begins to form on the plate.
First one's done, Mr. Ulrich.
All right, 11 to go.
The transmission continues as planned, each letter falling into place like pieces of a puzzle. Until finally the last letter is recorded on the page. Oh, that's interesting. You are reacting to this very viciously for some reason.
This incantation.
Uh-huh. This sight is hard to believe. How can this be?
What? Are you reading it in your head? Oh, don't tell me even thinking about it can trigger the curse.
No.
No. It's just...
Did you see it somewhere before?
I can read this language.
Oh, that. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. The Unua Circlo. The language is not unfamiliar. The incantation for unlocking the suitcase is inscribed in the same tongue. Ooh. Oh, baby. Okay. The questions are, who taught this and when? Was it on the eve of the new millennium, when everything was a blank? Was it Mother? A myriad of thoughts flood the mind.
37. I think I know what it says. It means the first circle.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've been over that. I've already looked up the thing in a translator, because I was very curious. Okay. But yeah, she can read it. Ooh. Alright. Let's see. Emergency Harmonizer Analysis Task Notification. Special notification. We have received a harmonizer capable of neutralizing the storm immunity spell, which has been proven effective through Miss Lucy's testing. The contents of the harmonizer have been sent to each department in the form of a photograph with this message. Please begin analysis for mass replication immediately upon receipt. I'll call back the people from John Titter's place. You all keep busy. Interesting name to put in there. Also, there's something else. Hello, what are you? Applying Chladni plate sound propagation. A metal plate, a grain of sand, an element of sound. Simple and effective. Try the experiment. Required materials. A square sheet of metal. Other shapes and materials can also be used. Observing the differences they produce is equally entertaining. Sand, flour, salt, or sugar can also be used, but be careful, they're not easy to clean once they get into those body crevices. An element of sound. Yes, that's me, glad to help. You can also find any friend who knows how to sing and make vibrations, or say, dance. Working principles. It is known that sound is produced by vibration and propagates in the form of waves, and different sounds have different frequencies of vibration. So certain sounds can produce fixed waves under certain conditions, thereby representing certain patterns. Operating steps. First, place the square metal sheet, hereinafter referred to as the plate, on a stable and well-fixed smooth solid surface. This is to prevent phenomena such as slipping, an important step. Second, the sound element is made to contact the plate and emit sound at a specific frequency. The Scientific Computing Center has compiled the wave bands corresponding to the 26 letter shapes. You can ask Mr. Ulrich for a copy. He is a very generous gentleman. Third, observe the pattern and draw conclusions. Wasn't that simple? You can do it alone at home. Try it and see what pattern your favorite music program turns into. That is definitely an interesting thing, and kind of very interesting that I put this in here. But yeah, you can do that. I think I've seen experiments done with that kind of procedure, and they do end up in very interesting shapes and forms. The first circle. Thus, the proof is complete. Ooh. Okay. Oh, we're getting music here. Cutting edge technology. Okay, I'm gonna read that later. Just in case the text on the on the music on the tape is something spoilery. Office of Director Laplace. The researchers on the receiving end quickly grasp the message.
The first circle. That's what the incantation says?
Oh yeah, right. We were talking about this, but they didn't translate the thing yet. Right. He suddenly remembers a detail that has eluded him all along.
That's it. The investigator in Vienna reported a similar thing. An ancient miracle, a circle of salvation.
Yep.
Arcana even drew a circle in the air while saying it. She did it so nonchalantly, as if it were a meaningless gesture.
But that was not just a gesture.
We didn't think much of it at the time. Once we confirmed that it did not affect the casting of the incantation, we forgot about it and moved on. I can't believe I overlooked it.
The hot-tempered cryptography lead slams the table and buries his face into his hands, clearly exasperated.
This is not your fault, Ulrich. The gesture was overlooked because it did not really help the research. Our focus was on practical application rather than understanding the incantation itself. If the incantation means the first circle...
Pardon? The pragmatist's voice is still serene.
How will this be helpful to the research?
Okay, what is he coming up with now?
I see! I understand now!
Oh, she knows. A moment of epiphany. She snatches a handful of papers, sprawls out on the floor, and scribbles frantically.
Well, Vertin, I don't know why you can read it, but I do know that Gal is thrilled by your interpretation. Because you mentioned her favorite shape, the circle.
Mm-hmm. It's all... I'm hating myself for making this stupid comment, but it's all coming full circle. Oh, God. We literally started this chapter with a talk about circles. The rational number is spot on. 37 has drifted into a world of her own.
Yes. The essence of the incantation is a circle. But what kind of circle is it? In topology, any closed curve on a plane can be classified as a circle.
Yeah?
Aha! Told you!
Regular spreads her hands, speechless. She takes a step back, giving 37 more room to calculate. Everyone is talking quietly, so as to not disturb her. Even Miss Radio has lowered her volume. Just as her sheets are about to engulf the entire floor, she finally stands up.
Look, Vertin, let's go back to the Rosetta Stone hypothesis.
Aww.
Based on the hypothesis, if the incantation and the numerical code share a common essence, which is the key to the storm immunity...
Yeah?
And we now know the incantation refers to a circle...
So that's your third piece of the Rosetta Stone, yeah?
Then, the essence of this numerical code should also be a circle, right?
37 nods.
Yes. Before this conversation, I had no idea which direction to take. The numerical code could be a snippet of an incantation, or it could be a geometrical ritual array. I had a lot of theories to go on, but testing them could take weeks or even months. Worse yet, if my line of thinking was completely wrong, we could waste decades of time and effort. But the Rosetta Stone hypothesis is easy to verify. Let us suppose that the incantation and numerical code share a similar essence. We know that the incantation does work as proven by the Awakened.
Yes.
If the incantation is a circle, then the numerical code should also be circular in nature and has the same effect as the incantation, which is a circle that saves people from the emanation and can also be experimented with by the Awakened.
If the experiment works, then the hypothesis is true, and vice versa. I see what you mean here. It really is an easily provable hypothesis.
To my ears, you're just trying to prove that the code means a circle. Because you're really into circles.
Regulus.
Not specifically. I simply like it because it's a great shape.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't understand.
She picks up the numerical code and studies it carefully.
+1, -1, +2, -3, 3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
Well, considering that I'm not a math whiz, I have no idea what these numbers could actually mean in this whole thing. The only thing I can always imagine with this is some kind of musical hum. Like, there was a lot of shit with music this entire chapter. I mean, the story for 37 was literally themed about a piece of music that was left behind for them. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's pointing... I was thinking this for a while, but what if they just convert the whole thing into music? Would that even work? If people would kind of sing it? To harmonize with each other?
How do these numbers relate to the circle?
Oh?
The first circle.
Okay, back to Enigma. Oh god, we're going so much back and forth now. Enigma narrows his brows, spinning a pen between his fingers. His drafts are scattered across his desk, each of them a dead end.
Yes, it was the Timekeeper who translated the incantation. And according to the investigator in Vienna, Arcana also drew a circle when she casted the ritual. But experiments have shown that the gesture has no effect on the ritual. We thought maybe it was a symbolic gesture.
No. It is no way just symbolic.
Yeah. He jumps to his feet. The cryptographer sneezes at the cloud of dust he just stirred up.
Arcanists excel at condensing their experiences into symbolic representations. Signs, totems, elements, these are primitive symbols, and some are sources of power for Arcanum. At least that's what the Foundation's textbooks tell me.
Yeah, he has a point. Pretty much if you can visualize something, you can work with it easier than just on plain paper and theory.
That's why arcane skills can only be enhanced by mediums that align with their symbolic nature. Precise materials are required when creating soft discs for each incantation.
He stops spinning his pen.
If the incantation symbolizes the first circle, and if we were to create a physical form that could be mass-produced for everyone, will that form have to be a circle too?
Like a bracelet for everybody? In the cave, discussions and theories about the circle are also in full swing. Every inch of the floor is now covered with paper. On each sheet is a different drawn circle. Some are spheres, some have crossings, some are in distorted forms. Just as a sea of papers is about to drown everyone in the room, she finally stands up.
Oh, I should have thought of this.
There's music kicking in.
The simplest things often hold the deepest meaning, as always. So, the first circle, what could it be? A wheel? A piece of rope? A pendulum?
37 shakes her head and kicks away some paper balls at her feet. The first circle, what could it be? The sun? The planet itself? I mean, it's not a perfect sphere or circle, but it's kind of like circle-like. The moon? There's also Ceres, which we've seen only a tiny bit of, with that one scene of Regulus that hasn't come back into fruition at any given point.
I spent too long on the wheel and the bearing, not realizing there was something more promising. A circle can also be seen as a knot with no crossings. An unknot.
Oh, I remember you guys bringing up that the knot theory is gonna come into fruition in this chapter somehow. Okay, I see where we're going.
This could be a variation of a closed curve. A knot. Knots were how the ancients of the Incas and Chinese collected data and kept records.
Yes.
But which knot is it exactly?
37 extends her hand. Intricate geometric shapes take form in the radiance of her arcane light.
The Jones polynomial of the trefoil knot is t plus t cubed minus t to the power of 4.
Alright.
The figure 8 knot is t to the power of negative 2 minus t to the power of negative 1 plus 1 minus t plus t squared. While the cinquefoil knot, t squared plus t to the power of 4 minus t to the power of 5 plus t to the power of 6 minus t to the power of 7. I could go on all day. There are 165 different knots with 10 crossings. 9,988 knots with 13 crossings.
Uh-huh. Okay, it stopped auto-scrolling. When you guys mentioned the knot theory, I'm aware of it. I've never looked into it. So I just opened up a wiki page and I saw a lot of things. I'm not gonna present it on screen right now because that's a lot. That's a lot. Whoever is interested, just look up knot theory. Your brain is gonna tilt. But yeah, now that she's pointing shit out, a lot of this shit just looks like the numbers she got, but they just need to be put into one of these equations now.
But which knot is the code referring to? Positive 1, negative 1, positive 2, negative 3, positive 3, negative 3, positive 2, negative 1, positive 1.
She stops. Uh-huh.
Of course. Of course I would hear these digits instead of anything else. The scroll transcribes the truth into a format I can understand. So it must be based on a mathematical system I already know. I have all the knowledge needed to break the code. Just need to follow my instincts and pick a system. And the Jones polynomial is the first thing I could think of.
She's so excited. Struck by an idea, she drops to her knees and starts calculating again on the floor.
Right. The second 3 I heard sounded different from the other 3s. That 3 must be the constant term of the polynomial. Then if we use this 3 as the origin, like a number axis, the left side is the coefficient for the negative exponents, and the right side is the coefficients for the positive exponents.
I mean, I said this before, math is not my strong suit. I'm just absorbing this right now, and I'm just like, okay, keep talking. I'm listening, but you're talking a foreign language right now. Keep going.
Eureka! This string of coefficients is the shorthand of a Jones polynomial. If we assign the 8 coefficients to the 8 corresponding exponents in a Jones polynomial, we get its true form. T to the power of negative 4 minus t to the power of negative 3 plus 2t to the power of negative 2 minus 3 times t to the power of negative 1 plus 3 minus 3t plus 2t squared minus t cubed plus t to the power of 4. A knot with 8 crossings.
If I hug her, is she gonna shut up about math? Probably not. This reminds me, God, this reminds me, this feels like someone on the writing team is just flexing math, and it reminds me purely from an anime that was, I think it aired on Netflix originally. It's Godzilla Singular Point. The guy, I don't know if he was the director or the writer for the show. I think he was the director. And the guy was apparently some kind of math whiz, like super math whiz, and it shows because the show is filled with like accurate math and crazy bullshit on screen a lot of times. Like you just look at it, and even if you don't understand math, you're like, yep, that looks like math. It's crazy, the amount of freaking math they put into that show. Anyway. She looks up, her bright aquamarine eyes shine with delight. A golden knot appears from her fingertips. Ooh, that looks fancy as hell. That looks like a heart. Almost. Yeah, kinda. Right?
See, Vertin, Apeiron did give us the answer.
A heart that is knotted in the middle.
The key we've been looking for, the most profound secret, the language of the divine. No sound or text is needed, just pure structure, the very form of the essence itself. It is a beautiful shape, a simple knot.
A knot? Great. Now there is only one step left. The verification.
She nods and looks at the communicator.
Did you hear that, Madame Lucy? Can you help us verify the authenticity of this knot?
After an unsettling silence, Miss Radio finally remembers that she has turned down the volume. When she turns it back on, Lucy's voice comes through clearly over the channel.
Of course. I have paid close attention to the discussion. This polynomial produces a single unique knot. We can now tie a knot to test it.
The call goes silent again. The cave is silent too, as if any noise would alter the outcome. Even Regulus has turned off her personal speakers. In the quiet hush, Miss Radio cranks up her volume once more, but all they hear is a sharp hiss of static. And a soft, strange rustling. 20 minutes have passed.
Madame Lucy?
The only sound is a constant static, accompanied by a faint, scratchy reverberation. Ooh.
Is the signal dropping? Madame Lucy, can you hear us?
Oh, did it work? Interesting.
I can.
The robot utters with effort. The knot slips from her grip and falls. It has completed its great mission. Then the robot starts to fall apart and melt. Before the curse could get to her core, the fire... Jesus. She needs to ensure the next message is clear on the radio.
It worked.
But it's still disintegrated her. The robot starts to fall apart and melt. Before the curse could get to her core, the fire thief flashes a smile. The fire thief. Oh, the fire thief. Fire thief. I see what they're referencing. Okay. Stealing the first fire, huh? Okay. The ritual core is officially complete. Thank you, everyone. The ritual core is complete. We have successfully overcome all the challenges we faced, and all that remains is assembly and mass production. Our research on the storm has come to a successful conclusion. Jesus. We are also collecting names for the ritual core. If you are interested, please feel free to submit your suggestion. Below are examples of the suggestions we have collected. 37, Lucy Knot. What is this? Absolute universal R-powered storm immunity device. Laplace is not uncool. 1914 knot, wrong time. The knot? It has such a nice ring to it. I mean... fuck's sake, Lucy knot. What the fuck is this? Who spotted this nonsense? Anyway. Okay, let me see this now. Colors in the darkness, a touch from 1,000 miles away, and a fragrance that can be savored without tasting. Tasting can all be found here. Jesus. Reading. Okay. want to hear it. Ah, this track. Okay, it's this track. Alright. I was just curious. Get back to story. Alright, nothing left here, right? No? Okay, good. Mirror and curtains. I see Enigma, I see Lucy. A mirror, a razor in green, and hands reaching into nothingness. Alright. $4 hours.
I never thought it would be the Timekeeper and the Apeiron Arcanists who'd solve the problem. But now even humans can cast this ritual.
Yeah, even humans cannot cast a ritual. Well, that's good for everybody. Laplace is now in a rare state of tranquility, for the researchers have done all they can. There's nothing left for them to do. With only 4 hours to go, this is the final calm before the storm. Quite literally.
Indeed. The knot is the physical form of the ritual we were looking for. Surprisingly, the numerical code yielded practical results. I thought it was necessary to report this to the Timekeeper's organization. It was her contribution, but it did not go well.
Hmm? What do you mean it did not go well? What happened? Flashback?
Forgive the interruption.
Oh.
What's a knot?
I will be glad to answer your question.
Forgive me for asking, but what stupid question is that? What is a knot? Want me to tie one around your nose?
Knot theory is a branch of algebraic topology. In mathematics, a knot refers to a connected closed curve in three-dimensional Euclidean space that does not intersect itself. They can also be described as shapes in three-dimensional space that are homeomorphic to circles.
Okay, I will not lie. I'm very happy that I didn't go out of my way to do the same thing that I did for the previous episode and include something from the wiki page or something similar about the knot theory. She is explaining everything. Good.
Knot theory focuses on the entanglement and configurations of closed curves in three-dimensional space, rather than the curves themselves. Since all closed curves are homeomorphic to circles, they can all be topologically categorized as circles. A knot equivalent to a two-dimensional circle is called an unknot, and...
I don't mean to question Laplace's expertise, but this approach may not be the best solution for widespread implementation. The concepts are complex even for us, let alone others. We can't expect to give an advanced math lesson to every individual under these circumstances. Doing math before the storm. Nobody's got time for that.
Don't think you need to do math before the storm, but anyway.
As it turned out, presenting a technical report was much too premature. We should have a complete and official report once the immunity gear is produced.
Maybe you can change your approach the next time you report to the Foundation.
The robot shakes her head, disappointed by the failure of her report and the listener's math level. I am sorry!
I simply gave them honest answers.
I am sorry, Lucy. I am bad at math. Anyway. She turns her head and looks thoughtfully out the window.
But this solution is deserving of widespread implementation.
This is so funny. This single scene has like currently 3 different variations. The one where two where she's with the robo face. One of the 2 is with the bird landing on her hand, and now this exact same image again, but with the human face with the mask on.
All we need is a piece of rope and tie it end to end, and spend 3 to 5 minutes to make this knot. This can be done anywhere, at any time by anyone using any type of cordage. The oldest, fastest, and most basic ritual, the key to braving the storm, is a knot.
Why didn't you tell the House of Integratus? I'm sure they would have funded us generously.
I will make sure to put it in my interdepartmental report.
A rare hint of frustration flickers across her face. But she quickly moves on to a subject that deserves her attention.
But at this point in time, the knot only functions like an incantation. It is not suitable for widespread use until the research on the side effects and the converter are complete.
In any case, I've completed all the tasks you assigned me. My last plea is, please never put Ulrich and I on the same team again.
Oh, shut up, you two like each other. The researcher lets out a deep yawn, feeling as if he hasn't slept in ages. Maybe he can catch a quick nap before the final battle begins.
I'm surprised that you're not in the lab. Something bothering you? Wait, don't tell me you're charging here.
The robot turns to him, an approving smile on her face.
Excellent job, Researcher Adler. You have proven that you are keeping the locations of public outlets in Laplace in mind, which is a positive sign for your resocialization.
No response.
But I am powering up to reach my optimal condition, preparing for what is to come. The Scroll of Apeiron, the final piece of the puzzle, the key to minimizing any negative effects caused by the incantation.
Oh? Oh, yeah.
Wow. The designers on artificial somnambulism could use some of this inspiration. Look at the clouds, painted with a syndrome of colors and interrupted by a glorious streak of rainbow. It's truly a masterpiece.
Oh, she's having an experience. It's like she's literally having an experience looking at the sky right now like she's on drugs. But she isn't. The red-blue streaks forward at lightning speed, but the Oleatus are still in hot pursuit. Oh, you're still being chased? Their skins are becoming increasingly vibrant due to the storm syndrome.
Funny. They're flying towards the headquarters out of instinct. Maybe they can sense immunity zones.
Ah, interesting observation.
These little beasts would make for a good study. But I'm not in the mood to take any prisoners.
We are fighting them again? Hey, this is a reused image. Lilya speeds up again, trying to lose the pursuers that are swarming behind her like a dark vortex. In front of her, under the clouds, the grey buildings of the Foundation are now clearly visible.
Fuel and ammunition are running out.
Her altitude is low enough. She can almost see the hallway outside the community room.
Huh. Maybe I should storm the Vice President's office with them. But other people might get hurt there. Never mind.
She makes an abrupt turn, her mind racing with ideas.
Dive into the lake? But the splash might wet the scroll. Wait, isn't that...
Oh, hey, sprouts from the forest. That looks like a signal to land.
Miss Lilya, this way.
Holy hell, Druis, it's been a millennia!
Ha! Good timing.
Her friend's presence has given her a clear sense of direction. Without a second thought, she charges into the new forest with the huge herd in hot pursuit. Just before crashing into the trees, Red 38 changes course and rockets upward in a perfectly straight line. But the creatures behind her have no such finesse. One by one, they slam into the mesh woven by the dense tangle of trees and vines. Nice maneuver.
Enemies intercepted. Ally landed successfully. Miss Travis, the Elitiaus are all ensnared in vines.
The druid closes her eyes, savoring the fresh air.
The winds of triumph sweep through the woods. An excellent flight, Miss Lilya.
Holy hell, Druvis, it really has been a millennia. Hi, how's it going?
We will take it from here. Come, everyone. We shall vanquish our foes with the aid of the woods.
Good lord. Good lord. Oliatu? Yep. Okay, regular fight. Let's do this.
This trial is mine to judge.
Benefit from reading.
Eliminate target. Faraday's miracle.
Using troops.
The Special Operations Squad is ready to go.
Bean!
Dr. Kakia, are you really going to stay here?
Oh yeah, she just reminded me of something. I need to show you guys something very quickly after after this story note concludes. Four hours left. She shakes her head, her fingers tight on Marcus's communicator. For more than 10 hours she has been waiting for Laplace to respond. Oh, don't show me crying, Marcus. Fuck you. Marcus lowers her eyes, burying her face in her scarf to hide the tears. Fuck's sake. The doctor quickly notices it. Her voice softens and changes to a lighter tone.
Don't worry about me, young missy. This won't be goodbye forever. Besides, I have already provided all the help I can, right?
Don't make the bean sad, you dingus.
I made Isolde show us the ritual and kept her under control. And now you've figured out how the ritual works.
Uh-huh.
To test its results, you will need a couple of volunteers.
But Marcus doesn't seem to find comfort in her words.
But you heard the report from Laplace. The possibility of surviving the ritual is nearly zero without the converter and the scroll and...
Nearly, they said. But not surely.
The doctor interjects briskly.
Plus, where else can I go? I was born and raised in this city. This is where I came from, where I lived and where I belong. This is my whole world. I despised the maggots under its golden surface and fought for the justice and fairness in our society. But I also cherish every detail of this city, from the intricate carvings on the theater columns to the dirt trodden by dock workers. All of these things made me me. My family, my friends, my people, and my operas and culture are all here. I never once thought about leaving this place. I have never thought about destroying it either.
She looks up and sighs sentimentally.
Being washed away with it would be a just punishment for all my sins.
Yet her eyes are free of darkness and despair. Well, that's nice. That's nice at least. Marcus can clearly see her determination.
I wish I could be as brave as you are. See you, Miss Clara.
Aww. She gently reaches out to her. Not far away, the Special Operations Squad is ready to go. The helicopter begins to whirl, its last errand of the day. Inside the cabin, Isolde sits between two Razor operatives, her wrists bound in cuffs.
Hurry, ladies, before any of us turns into one of those exquisite paintings! Sorry, but the headquarters is too far for the teleportation disc from here. You'll have to bear with us smelly old grunts for a little longer.
It is time to part ways.
Goodbye, Miss Marcus. Sharing this era with you has been an honor.
Their warm hands clasp in a powerful handshake. With a wave to the teary-eyed girl, Kakia turns around and heads toward the City of Madness.
Is your birthday approaching, Doctor?
Hi, Isolde. She twirls sharply around at the entranced voice. Isolde reaches out into the air, still in a dream she's unwilling to wake up from. There the world is unchanged, and each day is filled with bliss. For a prisoner in the Foundation's facility, perhaps dreams will provide the solace she needs.
I made this for you.
She holds out a brooch, a piece so exquisite that it, too, seems to be an intangible figment of a wistful dream. That is an interesting shape. The golden setting nestles the sparkling gem in place, a gift undoubtedly made with great affection.
Turquoise and topaz, just like you and your eyes.
Oh.
Please accept my blessings, Doctor. May your life be filled with joy and contentment, and may your courage guide you through all that comes your way. You are worthy of all the beauty and goodness this world has to offer, and I will hold you in my heart and in my prayers, forever.
Today isn't Kakia's birthday, nor can she see her reflection in Isolde's lusterless eyes. The Star of Vienna holds up the brooch, yearning at the emptiness before her. If one were to die today, what would she say to her long-time friend?
Süße Träume, Frau Dittersdorf.
Sweet dreams. She takes the brooch and pins it to her jacket. The communicator at her waist crackles. A ray of hope shines through the static.
Madam Lucy, any progress on the research?
Oh, right, they didn't get the memo yet that, about the knots and stuff, right? At this point. Hymnus ad Bacchum? Okay. First off, what do we have here? Two things? Surveillance report on Miss... Oh my god, this is blending in with the background. Weyerhauser? About that forest you're familiar with. About that companion you know so well. Observe the direction. Weyerhauser, okay, yeah. Following the forest incident, Miss Weyerhauser, suspected of using her arcane skills to destroy and invade on public places, and thus causing severe damage, was required to eliminate the influence of Arcanum and restore the original function of the site, and was forced to participate in 120 hours of Foundation service activities, in addition to a fine of 200,000 Sharpodontes. Jesus. Miss Weyerhauser showed a high degree of cooperation in accepting her punishment. She enrolled in the temporary tree processing class and within 3 days dealt with the excessive tree overgrowth she had caused by trimming all the greenery within the Foundation. At her impassioned request, the materials from the processed trees will be fully utilized. In the following period, the tree processing class responded to this request. We processed the trees into lumber and sent them to the engineering department. The byproducts were processed into organic fertilizer, and the remaining fruits were distributed by the canteen at lunchtime to offset Miss Weyerhauser's service activity time. The acorn bread and berry pies received quite good reviews. Nice. In summary, given Miss Weyerhauser's excellent performance and good attitude in admitting her mistakes during this period, we believe she has fulfilled her compensatory obligations to our satisfaction, and it is recommended that surveillance and movement restrictions are lifted from Miss Weyerhauser in advance. That is all. Nice. She served her time, I guess. Okay. And this is the last big news flash. Half of this newspaper page has been soaked in murky oil paint. Fortunately, the other half of the text is still faintly legible. Okay. The last big news flash. I don't know if I'm crazy, maybe today is the end of the world, but I have to write this down. This is my duty as a journalist. The whole of Vienna has become an oil painting splashed with turpentine, and I'm not using that as a metaphor, literally. Everything is dripping with paint, and I'm no exception. Fortunately, my right hand is fine for now, and I can still write. I thought three men fighting to the death over the pronunciation of a word would be enough to make the front page of the newspaper, but I was wrong. Redacted? A great war is unfolding. A great war that will involve the whole world. Those feet marching on the streets can't wait to throw the world into the roasting flames of hell. Hungarians, Austrians, Transleithanians, Germans, Cisleithanians? Which country is that again? Anyway, the streets and the cafes are full of lunatics talking nonsense, except for me and the little girl who just came to make a phone call carrying a case of books. Hey! The girl was crying so sadly when she made the call. She ran so fast when she came that she even slipped and fell. And she didn't realize her books had fallen all over the place until after she finished the call. I don't understand what there is to cry about when everything has become like this everywhere, and any semblance of order will soon disappear. If there is anything that still makes you sad, then you should do everything in your power to destroy it, just like the editor who keeps rejecting my drafts. If I don't take him down, I'll never have my chance to shine. This article will appear in tomorrow's paper, along with the destruction of my editor, if the world hasn't ended by then. Jesus Christ. Dude, chill. Okay. Hymnus ad Bacchum. So I will rejoice, dance freely, and savor my wine. Okay, radio. Vertin, 37. Let's see.
Six is awake?
Oh. Laboratory Island. The blind woman nods, smiling. 37 scrambles up from the floor, her eyes sparkling with joy.
Fabulous! Now everything is perfect, like the number 10. He will be happy to hear that I've cracked the code.
She skips across the room, the paper with the knot on it still in her hand.
I did it, Vertin! I have proven the light of truth still shines. With some time, communication, and a flash of inspiration, we can bring it down from the unattainable skies and let its radiance illuminate all. And I've also proven that the truth is not out of reach or too distant to grasp. So, once Sophia knows about this, she'll come back to us, right?
She opens her eyes wide, eager for the affirmation she yearns to hear. Vertin, I'm with you on this one. I don't know how I would respond to this back. Just straight up telling her, oh yeah, sure, would be pretty much just like lying.
I'm sure she'll be happy with what you've accomplished, 37.
And that is the appropriate response. 37 nods with satisfaction and quickly dives back into her work, further perfecting the solution. The leaps in progress and the news of Six's return have filled the lab with smiles and lively conversations. Yet the most active members of the past are not here for the celebration.
Did 210 and 888 go to get 6?
Oh, where are they? Oh, there is 6.
You don't seem that happy.
The leader stops, looking at the speaker coming down the steps.
The Star of Hermes deciphered the code of Apeiron. She found a way to cross the emanation. We should all feel happy for her.
The leader does not answer, having mastered the art of silence over the years. The rhetorician doesn't care. He can effortlessly engage in dialogue and is at ease in any conversation, even with a rock.
Yet here you are, so indifferent. It is because you, too, know that what has happened will not change, regardless of whether she figures it out or not. A meager ritual to save people from the emanation is nothing compared to the disruption of the law above. It also cannot change the fact that our faith is dead. We're talking about how the island has sunk, and we're now sailing in a tsunami. A tiny miracle, a spark of inspiration, won't save the ship from the wrath of the tides.
His tone is sarcastic, but the mockery is missing in his eyes.
To be honest, I was surprised that she asked such a practical question. I guess the trivialities of the phenomenal world did eventually affect her. It's a shame that many others lack her determined will to see beyond the void of our broken reality.
What's your point?
Can't you see? I'm getting a rise out of you.
He's just having fun. He beams a huge grin.
Who would have thought that our great, perfect, honorable leader of the school of Apeiron has been a nihilist all along?
Oh, he's having a lot of fun with this now, huh?
You never revered the truth, did you? That's why you kept us in the dark for 4 years. You never respected our beliefs for a second in your life.
The man down the steps shakes his head.
The people who seek the truth are more important than the truth itself. I may not understand that ever-shifting number, but I do understand and respect the people here.
He's continuing the conversation, a rarity to behold. Ever since becoming 6, he's rarely had a chance to unleash his sarcastic wit.
So you know the secret. What now? Now that you know the truth could lead to a nihilistic void, I wonder if you would abandon our doctrines, our wisdom, and our inheritance, and step into the darkness in a fit of rage. When truth fails, sophistry prevails. Correct?
Ha! We cannot deny that fate, the unspeakable, holds wisdom beyond our understanding. Perhaps it does take a resolute skeptic, an impartial nihilist, to steady this ship and remain detached enough to look on from the sidelines.
210 looks up at the
It's a pity. This was supposed to be the best time of year to make wine.
At the distant grape-colored sky. He leaves without looking back. The silent leader continues on the familiar path. Oh? A short distance away, 37 slides gracefully down the sand and runs toward him.
6! You're here! 888 said they're holding a celebration before the arrival of the emanation, in honor of the living and the dead. Will you join us, 6?
Uh-huh.
37. Do you remember the story of Socrates?
Uh-huh.
The one you told me in the cave?
Yeah.
The trial is over. Why mention it? You should answer my question first.
Her words trail off as her eyes suddenly widen in fear. She's completely fixated on what's in the distance. She knows the feast is underway, and she's recalculated the safe zone for them to hold it in. But now people are laying out food and wine on the ruined beach, among the rubble and wreckage, right next to the remains of the battlefield.
Wait, are they holding the ceremony outside the immunity zone?
Yup.
I told them to go to the meadow near the top of the mountain where they will be completely safe. I've checked my calculations over and over, leaving no room for error. 888 must have made a mistake. I need to warn them.
No. Her tiny arms are held back. They are ready to go. Blonde hair droops over 6's eyes. 37 looks back in confusion at the leader's unusual behavior.
37. Either be wise, uninvolved, and look on, or be practical, involved, and suffer. Which one will you end up choosing?
You mean all we need is a piece of hope?
Back to this. Oh boy. The voice on the phone sounds unsure.
Yes. In recognition of your extraordinary contributions, Laplace is honored to present you with the fruits of our labor. This knot is the result of our research. The knot has been validated as a working ritual on both humans and Arcanists. With the help of other Arcanists, we found methods to avoid side effects and conducted small-scale experiments with success.
So are you saying we can...
However, since the experiment is still in its early stages, it involves a variety of materials and complicated rituals that are not yet possible for transmission. Nor can we deliver you any experimental equipment, as the storm is about to make landfall. The knot acts as an equivalent to the incantation, but it does not guarantee that we will meet the casting requirements or avoid the likely side effects.
This is devastating news for anyone in need of rescue in the midst of a disaster. The robot pauses briefly, searching its database for kinder phrasings.
I apologize, Miss Kakia. Perhaps the result of our work will not really help your situation.
You said the knot works on both humans and Arcanists, right?
Surprisingly, there's no despair in her voice.
Yes.
That is more than enough. This is the best news I've heard so far. There's a chance for everyone.
The robot did not understand her mumbling, but she found something in her database that might help.
I have 2 more pieces of good news. First, the curse is not inevitable. Our experiments showed a 0.49% likelihood of no side effects occurring at all. Second, the closer the storm gets, the more pneuma fills the air, leading to a greater success rate of the ritual. Yet, even with these factors combined, the rate of success is still extremely low.
It's all right. With millions of people trying, there's hope that at least one person will succeed against the odds. Thank you for sharing this with me, madam. I will do everything I can to spread this knot in Vienna. To the Arcanists, humans, Magyars, and Germans, they are all my people, regardless of their social status, profession, or race. They all deserve the right to survive.
Lucy ends the call and turns around. There stands a Foundation employee, sent here to inquire about the experiment, with a stern expression after overhearing the conversation.
Madame Lucy, I can only assume you acted impulsively and overlooked the proper application process. The knot is new and not ready for widespread testing. Distributing it in Vienna could lead to more casualties or even fall into the hands of our enemies. I must remind you that this is a clear violation of the regulations set by Pax Security Council, the St. Pavlov Foundation, and the Laplace...
Ah, yes. How careless of me.
What an amazing response. Ah, yes, how careless. Anyway. The robot nods.
But I did tell her I would share the results of the research. And this is what you call a promise.
Oh, look at you being wholesome.
And the database says, a promise made is a promise kept.
Uh-huh. The storm is imminent. The final moment has arrived.
My brothers and sisters, put down your cups for a moment and lend ear to me. We were born extraordinary, yet estranged from the world around us. Throughout the ages, we wandered the world like a ship lost at sea. Despite the instability and chaos, we persevered, and together we sought after the truth that would illuminate us all. Through introspection and contemplation, we cleansed ourselves of hatred, madness, and delusion, and embraced the value of beauty and harmony.
Yet now, our shattered faith mingles with the rubble of this phenomenal world, as specks in an unjust timeline, as remnants of a tide long receded. The dream of the transcendental world is broken, and the order of the transcendental law is no more.
Our sanctuary has crumbled, exposing us to live in a world filled with conflict and turmoil.
Guys, please.
Where we will be trapped in the wheel of birth, doomed to repeat the mistakes of history for eternity.
But do not despair, for there is another way to the truth.
Uh-huh.
It is a path fueled by unbridled passion, one that was stifled by moderation and restraint, a path that transcends the individual, breaks all boundaries and limitations, and leads us back to the essence in a fiery blaze of glory.
Guys, please.
This path is the emanation which we stride into for the ultimate truth of our journey.
Oh, and 37 is just gonna watch from the side. Good lord.
Doctor?
Oh, hi! The boy eases his pace as he sees Kakia rushing his way.
Finally, someone I know!
She cradles a thick stack of pamphlets in her arms, a little out of breath.
Ilich, gather everyone you can and have them read out these steps in the plaza for all to hear. If possible, go to the telegraph office or use a printing machine to copy flyers. Distribute as many copies as you can. I'll go to Leopoldstadt and find the Gracchus brothers. They know where to find abandoned military hot air balloons.
What are you talking about, Doctor? People are too busy trying to escape. I want nothing to do with those crazies. This? A guide for tying knots? Don't you know the world is about to end? So many warnings. Who'd want to read this?
The people who want to survive will read it. I can't guarantee anything. It's a gamble for our lives. But people have a right to try before doomsday arrives. Ilich, please trust me one more time. Please.
The boy recognizes the plea in her voice.
Fine, Dr. Clara. If this works, your coffee for the rest of your life is on me.
Oh, good God, back to the beach. Oh no, don't make the bean cry. Clutching in her own hair, she lets out a heart-wrenching wail.
Why? Why are you still leaving?
Oh.
I found the truth. I completed the test. I deciphered the code of Apeiron.
She struggles, trying to break free from the arm holding her back. her eyes fixed on the beach before her.
Why aren't you stopping them, Six?
A friendly figure comes up to them.
Hello.
Hi, Marta. How's it going?
Are you joining them, Miss Marta?
Is she? She smiles and shakes her head, turning her face toward the leader.
I find myself uncertain of which way to go. Would you kindly give me some guidance?
The guidance I can offer you is limited, Miss Marta. I think fate knows its own fate better than anyone.
Thank you for your advice. I think I understand.
She steps into the path of no return. Oh, really? Oh god. Music? Holy fuck. The visual between those two sides. Jesus. What the fuck? The people in Vienna got them struggling to get something done and survive. Meanwhile, the people with their shattered faith just giving up and embracing it. Jeez. Okay, so it looks like it worked for Kakia, but she looked very saddened at the end. Did it only work for her? Like, was she literally the 0.049%? Jesus. Guy, fuck.
My dear child, look at you. You're exhausted.
Yes.
I couldn't be of help then. But it's okay. The party is over now. At least let me brush your hair, darling.
Ma'am, please, I actually put my hair in a braid today for some stupid reason. Don't untie the braid.
Or your hair will get all knotted. And it will hurt you when you try to untangle them.
Shut up! It's like the game knows what I'm about to say. Shut up! Indeed, it happened more than once.
I'm not surprised. An old friend of ours, not. Often, we learn our knots before we even know how to read and write.
Yeah.
A knot could be an obstacle that breaks the consistency of a flow. And also a reminder of forgotten things. You can use just about anything on hand to make a knot. Leaves of grass, the fur of an animal, even fallen hair. But the sturdiest knots are tied with rope. Knots are often found in many stories. Signify promises, counting and measuring, an instrument of salvation, and one of execution.
Yeah. What else can these knots really do?
Oh, I could go on all day. The influence and power of knots can't be overstated. It is said that it was in the cutting of the Gordian knot that Alexander became the Great. Just touching the meters-long rope provides blessings to the faithful in Bellum. And tiny knots on strings can carry the history of an entire people. The ancient Inca called it quipu. The intricate variations of hundreds of fabrics, colors, and lengths of strings were used to record their stories through the ages. And to think, Shakespeare only had 26 letters to create his masterpieces.
Isn't there something a bit more practical?
Just look around you. Don't sailors use knots to mark depths in men's sails? Or coachmen tying knots to rein their horses?
Yep.
And any respectable lady or gentleman knows the knots they must tie about their necks to stay in fashion.
Yep.
Or consider the knot-like helix structure of DNA and the changes in states of matter. Invisible to the naked eye, these knots carry some hint at a universal law.
Very interesting. I didn't think about DNA looking like a knot, but yeah? Yeah? That's a point.
That there might be a string, like the quipu, an endless rope that records in its knots everything in the world, one that can't be seen, yet there it is, everywhere, all at once. Maybe you can tie this knot yourself. Use your hair, then form a loop, pass the end through it, and tighten it up. There you go. I hope you keep this knot as a record of the words we shared here.
Sure. Interesting. The art of knots. The two numbers. Alright. Cutscene. Oh wow, you two are the only ones left, aren't you? Holy. Two numbers, each representing a pure essence of its own. Oh boy.
I don't understand. I should be giving them my blessings. They're brave enough to return to the essence. But instead, sadness washes over me.
I mean, that is a normal response. But yeah. Yeah.
I should feel happy for Sophia, now that she knows her soul number. Yet, I am filled with sorrow.
The beach is quiet, clean, and perfect again. The storm has washed away everything that's happened. The war, the crowds, and the clinking cups, all gone. It's restored to the likeness of a better time, with no remnants left behind. The last echoes of an era have faded into the distance.
Why did you all leave?
Oh, Jesus.
Is it because I wasn't fast enough? Is it because I didn't do well enough?
No, you did everything fine. But when people's faiths are shattered, and the world turned upside down, Someone hug the bean, please. Her petite frame sways in the breeze, until finally she crumples to the sand. Oh god. Oh. Jesus Christ. Rivulets of tears streamed down her cheeks, mixing with the mud on the ground. Her face, hair, and gilded robe are marred with stains. But she shows no concern as she bawls her eyes out, her grief tearing at the core of her being. Like the first cries of a newborn entering the phenomenal world. That is an analogy. And you two are just silent. Thus the leader knows. The question is answered. Rather than looking on, she has chosen to be practical, involved, and suffer. And now the moment of parting has come.
Go, 37. Leave the island to the world outside.
Yep. There we go.
Ms. Vertin, you're clearing a path out of the mires of the phenomenal world. I sincerely hope you will steer it away from the horrors of war.
It's our duty to do so.
Six nods approvingly. The importance of the scroll needs no further proclamation.
Also, the person you were looking for, I am not familiar with a biographer named Erd.
Oh, right.
However, in my recollections from the previous 6, there was a lady with a soul number just as unique as yours.
Oh?
Are you saying?
Sadly, these vague scraps of information were all that I inherited. I hope they will be useful to you.
He turns around without another look at the empty beach. He starts walking back. Some believers trail after him without hesitation. Okay, so some people are still left, not all of them decided to go into the storm. Seeing this, the girl wipes off her tears and scrambles to her feet.
No. Wait! 6, where are you going? Everyone is gone. Sophia, 210, 888, and now you too?
I'm returning to the cave, 37. There are still people who refuse to be caught in the cycle of hatred or give in to unrestrained passion. The entrance to the sacred place may be destroyed, but the people's faith is yet to be extinguished. We will persist in studying the scrolls, copying the scriptures, and restoring our halls. We will worship the Ancient One in penance and work to rekindle the flame of our broken beliefs. The island is a manifestation of our choices, a haven removed from the phenomenal world, a place of order and harmony. And it is our determination that will sustain its tranquil existence.
I will go with you.
No. Your choice has already been made, 37. You should not go back. The sorrows and doubts you have can only be alleviated by experiencing the outside world.
37's face turns completely pale. 6 shakes his head, looking forward toward the setting sun. This poor child, literally, her best friend essentially turned heel and went with the opposition. The other friend literally got deleted out of existence, and the final one is also going away.
Thousands of years ago, the first faithful ones fled from the Roman Empire and journeyed to this island, where they founded the School of Apeiron. 500 years ago, refugees from Arabia found shelter here. they filled the cavern's shelves with copies of their writings and texts. Half a century ago, scholars who had their research exploited for warfare came and expanded our knowledge on modern mathematics. There were many 37s and 6s among them. Yet, are we any different from them in essence? Even if we are no longer here, the numbers 37 and 6 will still exist. Even if the island sank, these numbers would reappear elsewhere. The integer sequence is infinite, 37. Rather than clinging to a set of specific numbers, you should go and work out your own calculations and conclusions.
So now you're choosing to be wise and look on. But I don't understand. How could one be wise by being uninvolved and looking on from the sidelines?
Six lets out a sound, almost a chuckle.
You overestimate wisdom, Miss Vertin. It can't do everything. Wisdom can free people from ignorance, but it can also lead them to a nihilistic void. Yet, someone will always seek this wisdom, even if nihilistic, to briefly rise above their worldly troubles and find some relief. And someone will have to stay here and provide a neutral haven for the drifters of the phenomenal world, and give the lost souls a harbor to return to.
He turns again, ignoring the calling behind him this time.
Wait! Six! Wait!
She rubs her face with her palms and pulls up her robe, running down the beach. She stumbles over a pebble and falls, but she pushes through the pain and rises to her feet, still running as fast as she can.
Wait, Six!
Oh.
Atticus!
Oh. Oh. The man stops. He had not expected to hear that name. Numbers are the essence of one's soul, and names are but echoes of the phenomenal world. He was born into his number, long before he was given the name Atticus. 37 never once called him by that name, for she had always valued the essence above all else. Ugh. Now here she stands, her hair tangled with mud, knees bleeding, all battered and bruised, yet her gaze remains resolute.
Will you leave a door open for me in your cave? Like when we were kids?
Oh.
I know the transcendental law is in disorder, but that doesn't mean the truth is gone. I will carve a new path through the chaos, calculate better solutions than ever before, and delve into the phenomenal world to discover all it has to offer. By then, if I run into problems that I can't solve, can we talk about them together? Like we used to?
Oh. 3 maxims were carved on the pillars of the Temple of Apollo. Know thyself, nothing in excess, and give a pledge, and trouble is at hand. What can he say? Alleviating doubts is a leader's duty.
Yes, a door will be left open for you, 37. Both you and your friends can come in.
It's a promise, 6.
Oh. She brushes away her tears and waves to him. It's still a goodbye, but it's no longer as devastating. The last, a tiny speck of hope left, right? The last of Apeiron followers have left, leaving only the Timekeeper's team on the beach.
Zeno sent a ship to pick us up. Let's go, 37. The researchers of Laplace would love to meet you.
The girl's shoulders are trembling.
Are you nervous? Afraid of the unknown world?
Maybe a little. But I will get used to it.
She lets out a breath, clearing the tangle of emotions from her mind. A familiar smile lights up on her face.
Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
That's a brave little bean. Good lord. Oh, good god. Why is this called the umbrella and the knot? Oh, is that? Yeah, that's Sonetto holding an umbrella. You know, game, I was kind of half joking when I earlier in the Let's Play, not in this part, but in an earlier part, said that if if the freaking umbrella comes into some kind of play during this chapter, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Am I about to laugh my ass off? What is this? What is this? Anything left here? No. Okay. Oh my god. That's fucking... Oh god. Oh, 37 crying. Pain on the soul. Anyway. The umbrella and the knot. It may not be important to remember an era, but it is important to remember the people. Uh-huh, yes. Now explain to me, why are you calling this the umbrella and the knot?
We are prisoners within these cavern walls. Our gaze is held captive by the shadow's thrall. Until our hands clasped and our chains rattled, we united to break free from our shackles. The sightless joined forces with the soundless, and the voiceless uplifted the helpless. Together, we assembled a sliver of truth, a piece of the world hidden since youth.
Uh-huh. I wanna read that again myself, hold on. Hi, Mesmer! Oh yeah, right, I saw one of you guys also point out that maybe Mesmer's, one of the most recent anecdotes that was added would be a good potential, like, anecdote to cover soon. Probably gonna get around to do that at some point as well. Because I am interested as well in that. Anyway, we are prisoners within these cavern walls, our gazes held captive by the shadow's thrall. Until our hands clasped and our chains rattled, we united to break free from our shackles. Yeah, the prisoners in a cave, right? The sightless joined forces with the soundless, and the voiceless uplifted the helpless. Together we assembled a sliver of truth, a piece of the world hidden since youth. Well, that is the short form of the story so far. What happened with the island? Anyway.
Have you got something for me, Mesmer?
Mesmer Jr. looks worn and tired, but her demeanor is still somewhat friendly. Dark circles are clearly visible under Mesmer Jr.'s eyes, just like every Laplace member encountered today.
Yes. They asked me to give this to you.
Okay, so the peon was her, not Sonetto. The red eye.
The culmination of our research. The crystallization of man in all its wisdom. The protective gear against the storm.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's actually funny. Okay, it's not what's it called? It's not Vertin's umbrella. like I was speculating coming into fruition, but it's just they literally made umbrellas. They literally turned the thing into umbrellas. That is funny.
An umbrella. Something you personally don't really need.
Wow. She takes a sarcastic jab as she opens the white satin umbrella.
It's called the Equilibrium Umbrella. This is the first model, consisting of a converter, a harmonizer, and a ritual core. The converter generates a balancing field that can cast rituals in the storm, taking account of the wielder's capabilities. The harmonizer's markings are inspired by the scroll of Apeiron. Madame Lucy tested it against 162 known side effects and found it to be highly effective.
Nice.
The original scroll has been returned to the island. This is only a simplified and duplicated rendition.
The 162 curses aren't all of them, right?
Correct. There may be other unknown side effects, so the umbrella is only a prototype in the testing phase. And the ritual core. At first it was called the 37 Lucy Knot in honor of the two main contributors.
Uh-huh.
However, both of them turned it down.
Alright.
Yes. I still remember what 37 said at the time. She would rather name it after the mathematical properties of the knot, even if it's too much of a mouthful.
No. 37 is not a name, and the truth should not be dressed up with anyone's name.
Oh, this is funny to see her in the coffer.
I only found it. I didn't invent it. I don't need something named after me to prove my sense of existence.
And this just reminds me, I completely forgot that I wanted to say, show you guys something very quickly before we move into the next cutscene, but fuck's sake. Shit is happening. Shit is happening and I completely forgot.
But I'm not on the island anymore. I can understand that the imaginary numbers need to honor the discovery. You may use another contributor's name for it. I'm willing to accept that.
Madame Lucy showed no interest in the naming rights, so it was transferred to the third major contributor, Adler Hoffman.
Oh god.
Sadly, researcher Adler also rejected the offer. At first, we nearly ended up using the date of that day as the name.
Uh-huh.
But he changed his mind after confirming he could use his family name instead.
Okay.
The Hoffman knot?
Hey, that is actually very appropriate.
You named it after Madame Hoffman?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Researcher Adler Hoffman wanted to make sure that Greta Hoffman would never be forgotten for her selfless sacrifice.
Oh, fuck me.
Level 4 Investigator Marcus, please accept this umbrella. It is rightfully yours.
She receives an equilibrium umbrella. Its pearly sheen creates an illusion of pure whiteness in front of her. Oh.
Given the incredible contributions you have made, you are welcome to apply for a well-deserved and extended vacation.
These people need to stop crying. These people need to stop crying for a moment.
No. I will request for permission to go out. My era has gone. But with this umbrella in hand, I will venture into the new world and marvel at what's to come.
That's a brave little bean. Good job. Marcus looks up at the sky.
Will the sucker tort taste the same?
I'm sure the Zahatota will taste the same, little bean. With the umbrella in her arms, she bows to the Foundation staff member. Then she turns and walks toward the light.
And lastly, the asymmetrical nuclide R in the handle of the umbrella is supposed to protect against the storm syndrome, but this still needs to be confirmed through testing.
It's okay. This is the one thing we need the most.
If you have no further questions about its usage, I'm heading back to the rehab center. The afflicted researchers there are in dire need of my magnet therapy.
Don't you think 1 is not enough for my needs? I think 5. No, 15 might be more helpful.
An unexpected question. Mesmer Jr. stops with a surprised look on her face.
My suitcase can't protect humans from the storm. They'll need the umbrella to survive. In the future missions, I may encounter lots of...
Mesmer Jr. interrupts.
Just a reminder, Timekeeper. This is only a prototype. The application forms for the umbrella are available in the Foundation lobby. Feel free to apply for as many as you need.
She turns and leaves, not staying for another second.
Thank you, Mesmer.
The amount of sunlight is just right. The umbrella pops open, rotating with a touch of grace. Against the white fabric, the golden knot gleams with brilliance.
37 was right. It is a beautiful shape indeed.
Alright. We have a solution and it's practical. The Foundation Square has been restored to its former glory. A recognizable figure stands there, having waited for a long time.
Hey, Vertin! Did you get it done?
Yes, it went smoothly. I was expecting something more complicated. So, to get the umbrella, you only need to fill out forms.
Huh? That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the brave and glorious sacrifice of my Apple II. Don't you think the Foundation should compensate me with a shiny new ship?
Oh.
That's your problem right now?
Oh? What do you mean, oh?
She forgot.
Are you saying you totally forgot about it?
No. Regulus closes in, offended, putting her hands on both her shoulders.
Easy, Regulus. Those people are likely buried in paperwork right now.
Yeah.
Just be patient and wait.
She twirls a golden medal between her fingers.
Lilya, how was your commendation ceremony?
They rewarded me for escorting the important item during the storm. How is delivering a scroll worthy of a reward? I'll say someone should be grateful I didn't crash into the committee building.
He tosses the medal to Regulus.
Take it. Might be useful for your alchemy.
Oh, let me see.
The hell was that sound? Regulus oh, she bit into it. Brings the medal to her mouth and takes a small bite.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's made of pure gold.
Gold?
On behalf of the pirate community, I thank you for your remarkable contribution to alchemy.
Alchemical pirates. Druvis III walks over and places another medal in Regulus's hand. Like Lilya, she was rewarded for helping to deliver the scroll.
Please forgive my lack of contribution, Timekeeper.
She missed the island trip because of the forest they planted in the Foundation Square. Fortunately, the square has been restored to its original condition.
It seems the awakened woods have embraced tranquility once more. Perhaps a sign of good things to come.
I'm glad to see you back on your feet, Miss Druvis. In fact, there's a place I'd like to introduce you to. A flourishing island that survived both war and the storm. I think a talented druid like you would be of great help to them.
Oh, interesting. We're getting Druvis over to the island? Huh.
Sounds like a place to look forward to.
She's gonna be over there like a liaison? The reunion is cut short by the pirates cheering.
Nice job, Druvis. It's not as big as Lilya's, but it is made of a rare kind of metal.
This is a good start, Captain. This apple thinks we only need 300 more medals to afford a new ship.
You read my mind, Mr. Chief Mate. When will Zeno's ceremony be held? This captain is not a fan of these ceremonies. So, could they just mail me my medal?
You getting a medal? That will be funny. The rockin' pirate coughs awkwardly, her eyes darting away behind the cover of her shades.
Did I miss something?
Oh, you missed a lot, Sotheby. Where the hell were you?
Are we holding a medal exchanging party?
Sotheby!
Regulus rejoices at the sight of the little lady, tears welling up in her eyes. She stretches out a hand and Sotheby immediately gets the message.
But I don't have a medal. All I have is this big round golden...
Golden what? A handful of weighty jewelry is placed in Regulus's hands.
Captain, I think we can buy a new ship with this.
What the hell? Regulus wraps her in a ginormous bear hug, moved to tears. Praise Sotheby, the most charitable woman in history, the revitalizer of the pirate community, the prime sponsor of the ingenious alchemist, and the bank vault on legs.
Regulus! Regulus!
Oh god, Sonetto. Sonetto runs over, panting, waving a stack of stamped papers in her hand.
The Timekeeper asked me to request a new ship for you, and we have the approval.
Oh shit!
The Foundation will rebuild Apple II and pay for its maintenance. Huh?
Funny you say that, Sonetto.
The trees sway in the breeze and the sunlight streams through the leaves. It is a fine weather to set sail again.
Now we have 2 new ships.
2 new ships? Oh, good lord. It's always good to have a spare, right? Alright. Notification on receiving the Equilibrium Umbrella. Special notice to all. The prototype of the first generation personal storm immunity device, commonly known as the Equilibrium Umbrella, has been completed and validated through Miss Lucy's testing. Thank you all for your contributions and sacrifices. Everything you have done today will be forever remembered in our history. Special thanks listed in alphabetical order. Abigail, Adler, Afra, Alice, so on and so forth. Miss Lucy should be first on the list, but it's in alphabetical order. It's only fair. Adler sure got lucky with his name on this one. Oh well, he deserves it. I'm off on vacation. I'll treat everyone later. Remember to come along. For fuck's sake. These goofballs. Okay, so what's... Interesting. Wait, what was the... Oh, the icon here was just like this thing in the back, like a droplet, right? Right. And now it changed to this. Okay, so we have everything and this culminates into the umbrella. I guess that was everything. And now the curtain call. Okay, how are we wrapping this shit up? I see Adler and I see Lucy. She brushes off the raindrops from her shoulders and steps into the new world. Huh? Curious description. Final one. Okay. The youth are sailing for a new world, while the old are saying goodbye to the world they knew. Okay.
15 plugs. This should be enough to cover all socket types at our destination.
Uh-huh.
Simone, pass me the experiment log, please.
She brushes the dust off the desk and takes a final inventory of the lab's equipment. She leaves the lights off, not needing them any longer. An urgent knock sounds from the door.
Come.
Also, wait, very interesting. She brushes dust. She leaves the lights off, not needing them any longer. But Simone is present? Doesn't Simone need the light? That's interesting. Huh? Holy shit. Before she finishes her protocol for human social customs, the door barges open.
Madame Lucy, is it true? Are you leaving Laplace?
Holy shit, he's in panic.
Yes. The inquiry is over. This is the decision of all parties involved.
You have got to be kidding me!
What the hell? Enigma pounds the table, sending the dust from the experiments into the air.
After all the incredible contributions you've made, they're suspending you? This is absolutely ridiculous! Without you, there would be no umbrella, and everyone would have died from the side effects!
But many did perish because of me. I had underestimated the danger of the ritual, and it ended up spreading uncontrollably.
I mean, she's not wrong. They didn't take precautions or tested out the formula whatsoever. They literally just, hey, here are the magic words, and then spread them around. And that was under her supervision and her command. So yeah.
Did you not once have the same opinion, researcher Adler Hoffman?
The robot gives him a friendly nod.
It is surprising to see you change your mind so quickly. But that is just what Laplace needs. The spirit of rationality and self-evolution.
The documents have been filed away. Simone walks up to Lucy and takes the heavy experimental apparatus from her hands. As the dust rises from their environments, Enigma lets out a cough.
I can imagine how they came to this decision. They must have considered the backgrounds of all the employees, including their social status and race. After 8 years, we finally created an umbrella to withstand the storm. However, our methods for achieving such progress and breakthroughs were too much for some to handle. People needed an outlet for their frustrations, so someone had to be held responsible for the accidents and casualties.
Yeah.
Numerous complaints have been filed against me, accusing me of being a cold, heartless opponent of humanity. Within the Foundation, Zeno, and even here, some are starting to question the idea of having an awakened piston as a leader of Laplace. They argued about my arcane abilities, unsure if I had them under control or if they were becoming unstable and affecting my ability to make rational decisions.
The robot realizes an overlooked detail.
I did give the nod to Miss Kakia in violation of the confidentiality agreement.
Yep, there is that as well.
But ultimately, it helped people survive, and that is all that matters.
But Enigma does not pick up on this realization. He's already enraged, fists clenched in a ball.
So they're questioning your standing because you're an awakened? An Arcanist? They're doubting the rationality of a machine that values technology and progress above all else? Could anything be more absurd? Even I, a human, was on the verge of giving up. It was you who convinced me to save our species.
My question is, why are you so upset? This does not affect you. In fact, you may be promoted. Laplace is setting up a new department, and you and Ulrich should have been invited to head it.
Oh, okay.
Weil das verdammt ungerecht ist!
Yep, because this is damn unjust.
Diese Leute kennen dich nicht. Sie haben nicht mit dir gearbeitet oder dir zugehört. Und doch ernten sie freudig die Früchte deiner Arbeit, während sie dir keinen Respekt erweisen.
Damn. These people don't know you, they haven't worked with you or even listened to you, yet they happily reap the fruits of your labor while showing you no respect.
Der einzige Grund, warum du suspendiert wirst, ist, weil du, ein Erwachter, nicht wirklich sterben kannst. Oder sie würden dir jetzt eine Ehrenmedaille auf deinem Grabstein verleihen.
The only reason you're getting suspended is because you, an awakened, can't really die. or they'd be honoring you with a medal on your grave right now.
Maybe you should take up that offer. At least you will get a promotion as a just reward.
Enigma opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. He wants to tell her she's wrong about him wanting the promotion, but he's too flustered and angry to speak. The robotic eye slit pulses, and she continues in her unemotional tone.
By the way, Ulrich ended up receiving a medal. But like you, he was not exactly thrilled either. He is outside the committee building, refusing to eat in protest. But everyone knows how resilient the awakened can be. It is going poorly.
Oh god, these two. She shakes and sighs, deeply remorseful for her subordinate's behavior.
I will suggest that one of you take this position. No one knows this research better than the two of you.
Just put them both into the position. That's gonna be funny.
Not a chance.
The research must progress, and you also need to ensure that the results will not be abused.
A valid concern.
Scheiße. You're right.
Shit. Enigma is caught in a fierce battle between his principles and his duty. But the robot doesn't notice these unimportant details. She nonchalantly walks over to the chair and runs a final battery check.
The punishment does not bother me, Researcher Hoffman. Power exists only in your dictionary, not mine. From the moment of my awakening, I have been unable to comprehend you creatures. And even now, that remains unchanged.
She states, with no emotion added to embellish her delivery. Enigma's mouth falls open in shock. Meanwhile, the robot just keeps on talking.
We operate in different ways, just like how our fuels differ. But the bright side is, our paths align. Whether we are creatures or machines, humans or Arcanists, most of us strive for a better life. It is this primal desire that drives progress. That is why I put on the mask of a human and work on improving my appearance and speech, all for the sake of better communication with you. Unfortunately, my efforts do not always pay off. Some say that the more human-like I appear, the more different I seem.
She shakes her head with regret.
But I am who I am, and my motivation is not to gain recognition from others. Our aligned path leads us to progress, and that is all there is to it. Thanks to the invention of the umbrella, Laplace can now resume its research unhindered. And if there is someone better qualified to lead, I am more than willing to remain a humble cog in their machine. Besides, Miss C introduced me to a beautiful resort. The lake there is rich with arcane power, perfect for an awakened Arcanist like me. Not only is it a resort, but also an independent team with a good amount of freedom. My only concern is if they have adequate power supply. Oh, rust might be a problem. Perhaps I should ask Researcher X about his titanium derust machine.
Fuck's sake. Okay. The robot is happily thinking about her vacation plans. She has completed all preparations for departure.
Time to go, Simone.
Madam Lucy, please take a look at this before you go.
A stack of reports is handed in front of her.
This is a report you compiled during the storm countdown. detailing 126 side effects and how the scroll alleviates them. I have some questions about the data for Type 34.
Hmm? Lucy flips it open and dutifully goes through the list one last time.
Yes, I can see a few errors in here. Unfortunately, I have to complete all of the handover procedures today. Perhaps you can ask Mr. Ulrich about it later.
She hands it back to Enigma, but he does not reach for it. He looks at her, grief-stricken.
The side effects left a mark on you, didn't they? There are 162 side effects, not 126.
Oh,
There
right.
was also an obvious typo in the data for Type 34. We noticed it long ago and corrected it. Took only 5 seconds.
Did it finally get to her somehow? Damaged her thinking capacity?
You sacrificed so much for this report, yet you could not see such glaring mistakes. You called me Researcher Hoffman earlier, a name you haven't used since you took over Laplace 8 years ago. To avoid confusion with my sister, you and our colleagues started calling me Adler instead.
Moving closer, he asks grimly.
How much data did you lose to impair your research abilities like this? Is this why you have to leave Laplace now? The progress you've made has helped so many, but at what cost to your own well-being?
The robot does not answer, a rare occurrence. From her side, Simone gently takes the file for her.
We should go, Madame Lucy.
Goodbye, Researcher Adler. Thank you for correcting my mistake.
She walks away with steely steps, not looking back.
Alright, fine!
He grips the door frame, ignoring the strange looks from the hallway.
I'll take up that role and do what you've been nagging me to do. I'll take care of those pesky committees. But just so you know, I'm not doing this for the higher-ups who look down on us, but for the people who look up to us from below.
Damn. The footsteps continue in rhythm. Her duty here is done. Then another voice calls out.
Madame Lucy!
Oh shit. Oh. The corridors are bustling with people. Also, I find it very interesting that Simone is going along with her. She's not staying? Researchers, clerks, directors, and security. Every Laplace employee is in the corridors, from bottom to top floor. Oh yeah, I just noticed, oh my god, they're all on every single one of the floors. The same voice shouts.
All attention! Salute!
Wow. Hold on. Papers litter the air like snowflakes. Everyone says goodbye in their own language, tossing files over the railings. The countless drafts, designs, and forms from the past 24 hours rain down. They were created for the storm and have completed their mission. Just as did the robot.
Simone, why are they throwing papers at me? Are they rejecting me and banishing me?
No, you goober.
On the contrary, madam, they are showing their reverence.
Oh, I see.
The robot is without a face and emotion module today, so she turns away from the crowd. The sunlight dances on her metallic surface, enveloping her in a golden aura.
Let us go, Simone. I miss the Laplace Chargers already.
God damn it.
There is a 230-volt bath at the resort, right?
Is this what they end on? This is what they end on. Oh, wait, there is one more. One more little thing. Hmm? Law. So which poor sap's up for the spot next? Pale green characters flicker incessantly, and in a second, dozens of messages appear on the fluorescent screen at the same time. It is clear to see that life must go on. Read the contents? On the screen. 01 anonymous number, blah blah. Lucy has resigned. Who will be in charge now? Okay. Okay. Ulrich, he's the second most reliable awakened in the Scientific Computing Center. Someone other than Lucy, I guess. No one wants that seat. It's electrified. Okay. Ulrich is the most opposed to this idea. He's on a hunger strike in front of a committee building. I guess he'd rather starve to death than sit in that electric chair. How about John? He's a man with clear logic and good project management skills. Lucy was an excellent leader. The casualties this time shouldn't be her fault. The best option is to let her come back. Which John? I hope you don't mean the one who speaks in hexadecimal. I recommended John from the mechanical engineering group. He's very creative and forward-thinking. Definitely the right person to run the Scientific Computing Center. Last week's major power outage was caused by that John from the mechanical engineering team starting all the lab machines in parallel. He's been suspended and has been undergoing psychiatric evaluation ever since. I'd rather pick the John from the medical team. John from the medical team caused a huge explosion while testing a new drug formula last month. Luckily, since he's from the medical team, help was at hand, and he is still sleeping like a baby in his hospital bed right now. What about John from the theoretical physics labs? His projects are absolutely safe. How many Johns do you have? His projects are absolutely safe. There's never been any danger, and there won't be any in the future. And he only cares about logic in all things. Simply the perfect candidate for the man in charge. John from the theoretical physics labs applied for a transfer a long time ago. The only person still hanging on that group is probably Adler, who forgot to transfer his files. So Adler is indeed currently the best theoretical physicist in all of Laplace. No need to even add one off. In the entire Scientific Computing Center, we can't find a John suitable to take charge. Isn't there a John with the judgment, execution, and long-term scientific vision of Lucy? One who will unconditionally support our research and even be willing to approve funding for strange inventions or new theories on the study of ley lines? Ley lines. A better sense of humor than Lucy's would also be plus. I think you might be able to find a John funnier than Lucy, but that's it. My suggestion is that we all join Ulrich in preventing any political John or placeholder John from being put in that position, and on that basis, demand Lucy's return. Good idea. See you in front of the committee building. I'll bring a few decks of cards. And can someone tell me why we're only considering Johns? Thank you for actually pointing that shit out. Why only the Johns? What? Okay. This marks the end of that. Let's see. Okay, so this... yeah, this unlocks immediately then. Oh, this is called Vertin. To the new world. Okay. So this we'll check out next time. Oh my god. Okay. This was an ending, alright. This was an ending and it isn't even fully the ending yet. But we'll see about that the next time. But All I can say is this was great. I love the little touch of humor at the end, just to reel everything back. Good lord. I do wonder what the scene with Kakia meant there at the end as well, with everything around her obviously being dissolved by the storm, but she looking saddened and looking down. And I mean, actually thinking about it, I guess she was saddened by the fact that, hey, it works, but it was too late for the rest of Wien, and everything got deleted pretty much. I wonder how many people actually around her actually lived. But yeah, that whole scene with the people on the island, that one group on the island, deciding to get swept away by the storm, while meanwhile in the midst of chaos in Wien, people were literally fighting tooth and nail to make the knots and survive. But yeah, again, it's understandable. The people on the island lost pretty much everything in these couple of short days and hours. Their entire world literally crumbled. But good lord, seeing 37 go through all of that and just despairing at everything and just continuously asking, is it my fault, is it my fault, is it my fault? Good lord, that was so painful. But Jesus. Anyway, I do like the couple of little things that they pointed out. The Earth thing was very interesting, that Vertin was asking about that. God, I'm trying to think about more stuff that happened, but my brain is currently exhausted, I guess would be a good word to use there. A lot of stuff happened. And yeah, we shall see how this continues. One more thing to round up this chapter. Actually, while I'm trying to find words to say a bit more, I'm just noticing the card for to the new world at the bottom says Vertin, and then under Vertin says Apple, Regulus, Lilya, and Sonetto. Okay. I can't read the other thing. Curtain call something something. The fuck? Apeiron. I think it says curtain call Apeiron. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, sorry. Was distracted. Reading words on screen. But yeah, I'm gonna... I guess I'm gonna save my final thoughts for the whole chapter for next time when I sort them out and we actually finish this thing, because right now I'm struggling to find the right words. I'll be quite clear, because it has definitely been something. It has definitely been something. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you all that I keep forgetting, that I completely keep forgetting the entire way through. So, is it still here? Yeah, it is. So, I was like, after I was done recording the previous episode, I was like, I have a bunch of the free currency, and this is around, and I was like, let's see if something pops out of this. Just off recording, just let's see if something pops out of this. I did get something. I'm going... Oh, there we go. I got the bean!
Books are everywhere. And if you step on them... that hurts me.
God damn it. But yeah, I got the bean! I was either hoping for her to pop out or 37, but I'm happy with the bean. The bean has been acquired. The muffler bean. I got her and I got someone else that is a 5-star, and I cannot remember now who it was. Oh wait, I do remember who it was. Her.
I'm not good at dealing with visitors. It reminds me of something bad.
That was literally the only 2 characters that I got out of those meager amount of pulls, and it was like 2 or 3 10 pulls, I believe. But yeah, anyway, that is gonna be it for this part, I guess. next time then I'm gonna round up my thoughts for the chapter and stuff like that when we actually finish with everything completely. Like I said in the next part, we're gonna go over this card, and probably if it's gonna be really short, like it was said, I'm probably gonna include Diggers's anecdote on top of it, just because I'm curious and just because this bitch is a menace, and or became a menace, and well, he was in the background of the whole thing. Now this is obviously open purely because he was part of one of the events recently, and I literally just opened the thing up to get the reward so I can do the event. So I haven't read it. I have no idea what's in there. So I am curious to see what is gonna be part of his story. But yeah, all of that will be for next time. For now, this has been a journey to get to this point, and the journey is not over. The journey continues. This has only been one big step, and the next one will follow. But yeah, all I can say is, well, if you're listening to the music right now in the background, because I'm gonna try and I'm gonna remember to replace the music in in the background playing, and I will leave you guys with just literally with an 18-minute loop of what you're hearing in the background. So enjoy. And yeah, I will go and edit this together and go and rest then. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, listening, leaving comments and so on and so forth. The journey continues through this game. Much more to do, much more to see. And I'm very curious how the next, I guess, big arc of this story is going to be built up. But we'll see about that in the future. So thank you very much, hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots more to come in this never-ending Let's Play series, I guess. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open. And yeah, hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye, and enjoy the music.